Ladies and gentlemen, Mahua Moitra, by the looks of it, is in deep trouble. The TMC MP, caught in a cash for query scandal, is known for her fire and fury in Parliament. But the fire directed against her by her ex-boyfriend has now turned into a full-blown political slugfest. Three big setbacks for Mahua Moitra in the last 24 hours. First, last night, her friend Darshan Hiranandani turned approver. Mr. Hiranandani is the Dubai-based businessman who the BJP alleged gave her luxury gifts in exchange for asking questions in Parliament. Hiranandani, who had denied these charges just 2 days ago, did a complete U-turn and essentially corroborated all that BJP MP Nishikant Dubey and Supreme Court lawyer, also Mahua Moitra's ex-boyfriend Jai Anant, have been saying. Mahua today claimed the PMO has put a gun to Darshan's head, threatened to shut down his businesses and made him sign on a blank paper. This affidavit that has Darshan's signature has now reached the Parliament's Ethics Committee that is hearing the matter. Mahua's woes don't end there. Today, her lawyer, who was to argue her defamation case, recused himself. This after Jai Anant, Mahua's ex-boyfriend, made a stunning charge in court. He said Mahua's lawyer had approached him with an offer: withdraw the CBI complaint against Mahua, and in turn, she will hand over their dog, Henry, to them. Henry has been a bone of contention between the two and was the trigger for Jai Anant going public with these allegations against Mahua Moitra. Mahua says she has no time for quote-unquote Adani-sponsored media trials and will appear before the Ethics Committee if she is called. Curiously, her party, the TMC, is refusing to publicly come to her defense. Their silence, ladies and gentlemen, is deafening. Let's quickly listen in first to Mahua Moitra's lawyer, who today recused himself. I'll introduce my guest to you in just a bit after that.
I have absolutely no comments except to say that because Jai instructed me in a case, I had reached out to him yesterday, that is correct, and had asked him, look, is there any way of exploring a settlement? That's all that the conversation was about. Jai had said he'd get back to me. He didn't get back to me. Today when I appeared, Jai personally said he had an objection to me appearing. I immediately withdrew and I said I don't want to do this case.
So the matter has now been adjourned to...
It's been adjourned to another date. I'm no longer concerned with the case. I've withdrawn from it.
Date of hearing?
I'm not aware. You'll have to check with the court. Okay?
So, is there any order from the court regarding the injunction plea by Mahua Moitra, who was so far
There isn't, because the court has pushed it off to another date because the lawyer appearing for Mahua, which is me, has withdrawn.
My guest this evening, Dr. Avra Sen. He's the BJP West Bengal spokesperson. Thank you very much. Jaideep Mazumdar is an author. He's a columnist as well. Tehseen Poonawalla is a political analyst. And Manishankar Chatterjee is a lawyer, joins us on the broadcast as well. Tehseen, I want to start with you. Fact is, whether we like it or not, whether, irrespective of whichever side you may be batting for, one thing cannot be denied. Mahua's stand has been shaken after Mr. Hiranandani's very curious U-turn.
Shreya, good evening. Thank you for having me on the show. And at the onset, I want to make it very clear to your viewers, I'm not a fan of Mahua Moitra. I just think that sometimes she does ruffle a lot of feathers. But look, in this particular case, I am astounded with the attacks on her, though I think that she does need to answer questions. Here is an ex-boyfriend who comes out and is spilling dirt on her. First, that is cheap, it is unethical, and it's not accepted. You don't throw your woman under the bus. But if Mahua was so corrupt and was doing all these corrupt dealings, while this ex-boyfriend of hers was aware of it, while he was a boyfriend, what was he doing? As an officer of a court, he's duty-bound to have informed the court. Now that there's a breakup, he throws her under the bus. Second comes in Mr. Hiranandani, a curious case of a nationalist father whose interviews are all over TV praising the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, and his son is sitting in Dubai, has a permanent house in Dubai. Amazing nationalist. But the son of, and this son 3 days ago says all of this is rumors. Today writes a letter and says Mahua Moitra was dominating as if he's some submissive person, no pun intended. But if he was so submissive and Mahua was dominating him, did he not have between his ears grey matter not to be giving gifts, not to be networking? And he takes the names of other members of parliament, people I'm very fond of and people I know personally, whether it's Shri Rahulji or Shashi Tharoorji, without any evidence. What sort of nonsense is this? I at no point say that Mahua does not need to be answerable. A, you cannot give your login ID to anybody, a parliamentary ID, because if anyone is putting answers in a parliamentary system, that mail could go to the speaker could use the same system to email the Honorable Prime Minister or the Chief Justice, and your system can get hacked with a buck. So that is a breach of privilege and Mahua needs to answer. But for all these gentlemen who have today come out, I am astounded and writing letters like she is dominating, the ex-boyfriend who had issues over her with a dog. I mean, I find this stunning. And again, the question, when both Mr. Hiranandani and the submissive Hiranandani, not the father, and the other person, the ex-boyfriend, knew that Mahua was indulging in something wrong, what were they doing? Why were they quiet? Why did they not go to the court or the cops then?
Mr. Mazumdar, Mahua Moitra is saying two things. A, she's saying, what sort of affidavit is this? You know, it doesn't have a header. It doesn't have anyone's name on it. There is just a signature by the end of it. Anyhow, whether you call it an affidavit, whether you call it a statement, it is now with the ethics committee. She's saying, all right, the affidavit is making all sorts of allegations. She's saying that a gun has been put to Darshan Hiranandani's head. It may be making all sorts of allegations. Where is the proof? And how on earth was a affidavit, so-called affidavit, that was meant for the Ethics Committee of Parliament, made public to the media before it even reached them? Kuch to gadbad hai.
It's a bit rich, I think, on Mahua Moitra's part, or should I call her Mahua Lars Brorson, on her part, to say that someone who is given her login ID and password to a third party, someone who stays in Dubai, it's a bit rich on her part to say, how do things leak out to the media? That is not, I mean, she has leaked out many things to the media. So she gets it as good at it as she hates out. I mean, this is done. I mean, I don't think there is anything wrong with that. As far as the a blank letter, not a letterhead, not a sign, not signed by a notary, etc., is concerned, I think this is simply nitpicking. The letter has been, the affidavit has been filed by Hiranandani. He has confirmed to some media houses that he has filed it, and that should be the end of the matter. And good that the media has got to know about it. Good that we have got to know about it. Everything should be transparent and out in the open. She advocates transparency. So how come she now wants charges against her to be completely hidden away from public view? This is simply hypocrisy.
Okay. So here's what we'll do. Mr. Mazumdar, you referred to Mahua Moitra, with her ex-husband's name. I'll request you on this show not to do it because it's a bit sexist, and we just need to be respectful to everyone because she's not someone who's here to defend herself. So let's just respect that, right? And let's move forward with this conversation. Dr. Avra Sen, you represent the BJP in West Bengal. Mahua Moitra, after the stunning U-turn by Mr. Hiranandani, I find the U-turn very curious. 2 days ago, Mr. Hiranandani says, all rumor, no truth to what is being said, no truth to what Jayanant is saying. 2 days later, he says what Jayanant is saying is absolutely true. Now, Mahua Moitra's charge is that the PMO has put a gun to his head, to Hiranandani's head. She's saying he was given 20 minutes to sign on a blank paper, on a blank white paper, and that the threat was this. The threat was, you don't sign on this paper, we will destroy your father's business. How do you respond to that? It's a charge that Mahua Moitra has made.
See, we as a political party, we are not concerned about the personal equations of Ms. Mahua Moitra with anybody related to this matter. But I want to say one thing very categorically. Today, as a student of literature, I am reminded of Christopher Marlowe's play, which is titled Dr. Faustus. We know that the titular character of this play had traded his soul to the devil for satisfying his greed and ambition. I don't know how a person like Mahua Moitra, who is an intellectual person, who is an intelligent person, she speaks so well, she speaks with content, could stoop to this level, that she did not care about the minimum parameters of ethics, morality, and propriety, being a member of parliament. What are the allegations against Ms. Mahua Moitra? These allegations are leveled by people who know her very closely. It is alleged categorically that she has taken gifts, favors, and monetary benefits from the named businessman in return of asking questions in the temple of democracy, the parliament, the Lok Sabha. Mahua Moitra herself has not said that she has not done anything like that. Now, after so many proofs have come against her, she is telling all these allegations are baseless. Previously, she was not in a position to say anything. Now, she is just trying to save her face. But the problem is, since these details, these vivid details are out in the open, the mask has fallen off. It is clear that these people, these TMC people, are not concerned about the commoners of West Bengal or our country. What they are doing is they are using the domain of politics as a means of filling their pockets, as a means of doing business. This is seriously reprehensible. This is not right. And as far as the question of the affidavit is concerned,
Dr. Sen,
this particular businessman is presently placed geographically outside India. It is possibly not possible. It is impossible for this man to notarize the document. And he has himself come out in the media and categorically said that this is his statement. So there is no point in questioning the credibility of the letter posted by him or sent by him to the ethics committee. One more thing which I would like to say is that Mahua Moitra in her press release has said that PAs and other team members of various MPs used the login IDs and all. I understand this argument, but the PA or team members of MPs are placed on Indian soil and they are directly related to the concerned member of parliament. But in this particular case, Mr. Hiranandani is not the PA of Mahua Moitra. Mr. Hiranandani is not somebody who is a team member of this politician, but he is placed on foreign soil and he has his own business interests. The login ID was shared with this person for vested interests, and that is very questionable and unlawful. We demand immediate action on the part of the ethics committee against this politician. It is proven today that she is one person who has got no credibility at all. All through these years, whatever she has done in the parliament today lies under the scanner. I would like to say that empty vessels make most noise. It is very painful to see for us as Bengalis that a person, whichever party she represents, but that a person who is elected by the common people of Bengal has breached the trust of Bengali people. She has gone to the temple of democracy and she has stooped to this level and she has brought shame to us. As a cultural community, she has brought shame to Bengalis.
Here's the thing. Don't declare her guilty right away, na?
Sorry?
No. Mr. Sen, please, I'm saying don't declare her guilty. You know, she's already saying that this is a Adani-sponsored media circus trial. Right? So let's not, let the ethics committee hear the matter, because the fact is that Mr. Hiranandani's U-turn in 48 hours is very curious. There are allegations made by a BJP MP. He steps out, Mr. Hiranandani steps out and completely denies it, calls them rumors. And after 48 hours, all of a sudden a complete U-turn? Dal mein kuch kala hai, but Manishankar Chatterjee, here's the thing. Dal mein, just a minute, Mr. Let me get in Manishankar Chatterjee. Just to tell all our viewers that we did request the TMC to be represented on this show. They haven't been speaking on the matter. Mr. Manishankar Chatterjee, the TMC's silence on the issue is deafening. It is deafening.
The answer, partly answer already given the earlier spokesperson. I'm only saying that against Adani, Rahul Gandhi said something in a false case, convicted Rahul Gandhi by interfering of the BJP. Thereafter, Supreme Court given interim order. Secondly, only the Mahua Moitra, who is a spokesperson to shouting in the parliament against the corruption by Adani. That's why the BJP persons, by tracking the other person, try to malign the Mahua Moitra. But I know very well her that she know everything how to deal with the parliamentary as a member of parliament. So now the question is that if there is a fair manner, transparent manner, the was going on in the parliament, why not send the matter to the ethics committee? The Narda case, number of parliamentarians visible that they are taking money, not till today after 6 years, not forward to the ethics committee. So this matter, why hurry? This is a case. This is not a proof. But the case which is visible in the media,
No, it's not proof.
that
And
issue till today not forwarded to the ethics committee. Why? Subhendu Adhikari just
no, the ethics committee may or may not have biased priorities.
No,
Sir,
why
I'm just going to interrupt here. Ethics, just a minute. Tehseen, the ethics committee may or may not have biased priorities. I'm not getting into that. I don't want to deviate and go off tangent. But the question is this. Fact is, right now, by the looks of it, even Mahua Moitra's own party, the TMC, doesn't believe her. There is no representation on this show when we decided to do this story, and there has been no representation on behalf of the TMC on this particular story on any network, right? We all know that. The TMC's silence is deafening.
Sometimes silence speaks louder than words, Shreya, and you know this as a very credible journalist when a political party does not defend its own person, because the TMC is a very vocal and vociferous party that defends its people, not just on television channels like yours, which are very credible, but they're not even out there on social media. So no doubt about it that Mahua Moitra is in trouble. No doubt about it, it will be difficult for her to get her ticket back if she does not resign. They will definitely not give her ticket. So she's in a lot of trouble. But what I find appalling, and again, I come with a caveat, I'm not a fan of Mahua Moitra. I don't like some of the things. She sometimes is a little she sometimes brings out topics that may be slightly divertory. But here's the fact. Nobody is getting into two very important questions in the sexist rants that I've seen, from her surname to other things. If these two men, her ex-boyfriend and Mr. Hiranandani Jr., knew that she was doing illegal activities, weren't they conspirators in the crime? Is Mr. Hiranandani a दूध पीता बच्चा, for lack of another word, that उसको पता नहीं था कि parliamentary login है? I mean, what are you doing? You are a businessman, supposedly competing with the Ambanis and the Adanis of the world, who are very good businessmen, and you didn't know that you cannot take a parliamentary login? Always. Galti hamesha mahila ki hogi. When will we men take onus and responsibility for what we do? And for that boyfriend of hers, ex, to leak pictures of hers, private pictures of moments that they shared, intimate moments over restaurants, dinners. You have to be, and I say this and I know he's a lawyer, you have to be really, really pathetic, or whoever in your circle, to allow that to happen to a woman. I don't support Mahua, but this is not acceptable. How can you do this? The question is, if Mahua was doing something illegal, what were these two men doing? Why aren't those questions being asked? By all means, hang Mahua by the nearest rope. But ask these two men questions, or suddenly these two men are apostles of truth, and Mahua is the only guilty person here.
No, you have a point there. And by the way, I agree to that point. As I wrap, Dr. Sen, I want you to respond to a very specific question I asked, but aapne golmol kar diya. Dr. Sen, my specific question to you is this. Mahua Moitra is saying in her tweets that this is a PMO hit job, that the BJP is out to finish her. And the BJP is out to finish her because she targets the Adanis. And when she targets the Adanis, according to her, according to the BJP, she's targeting Prime Minister Modi. So this is the Prime Minister's doing. Hiranandani's U-turn is the Prime Minister's doing.
These are absolutely baseless allegations. By her argument, does she mean that Mr. Jayanand is a BJP member or a BJP sympathizer? Does she mean Mr. Hiranandani is a BJP member or a BJP sympathizer? These arguments are absolutely baseless and ridiculous, to say the least. What I'm saying is that
sympathizer nahi, but you can coerce people into doing things, na? No, Dr. Sen, you can coerce people into doing things, and that's the impression. I'm saying you can coerce people into doing things, and that is the impression going out. I mean, this 48-hour and a U-turn in 48 hours, as Kapil Paji would have said in the Hajmola ad, ye baat pachi nahi.
Ma'am, with due respect, that is for Mr. Hiranandani to clarify. BJP or the PMO or the central government has nothing to do with this. It is entirely the prerogative of Mr. Hiranandani and Jayanand who have brought forward these details in public
BJP
domain.
has nothing to
We
do
have
with it.
nothing
It
to do
was
with
Mr.
this.
Nishikant Dubey
They are
who was
personally
holding the flag
related
against
to Ms.
Mahua Moitra.
Moitra. Sorry, ma'am. Please come again.
I'm saying you're actually saying on the show that the BJP doesn't have anything to do with the charges being leveled against Mahua Moitra. Have you forgotten
No.
Nishikant Dubey?
No.
He's the one who has a raging war with Mahua Moitra in
Nishikant
Parliament.
Dubey,
The next thing you
Nishikant
know is
Dubey.
these charges, Jai Anant is sending a letter to him and to the CBI.
Yes, that's my point. Jai Anant has forwarded the letters and other proofs, whatever he has, to Mr. Dubey. Dubey did not come in directly. Mr. Jai Anant, who is the ex-boyfriend of Ms. Mahua Moitra, forwarded all the details and all the things to Mr. Dubey. So BJP doesn't come in this entire dynamics. They are the ones who have communicated to the media, Mr. Jai Anant and Mr. Hiranandani. They are the ones, Mr. Jai Anant is the one who communicated to Mr. Dubey, and the matter has gone to the ethics committee. So there is no point in dragging BJP's name in it. It is the entire ruckus between these people, and she is now caught in the eye of the storm because she is now exposed. Ms. Mahua Moitra is exposed. Whatever she has done over the past few years is exposed. Her credibility is under serious scanner. And we have to wait for the ethics committee to take a decision. And if the CBI takes this matter for investigation, whatever the previous speaker was saying, everybody concerned in the entire scenario should come under the radar. They have to go and answer the questions of the investigating agency, and things will get clear as crystal.
Tehseen Poonawalla, last word to you then. BJP saying, "Humse kya lena dena hai? Why are you dragging us into this?" Fact is, it is their own leader, a BJP MP with a raging fight with Mahua Moitra, who's the one who goes on to accept Jai Anand's affidavit and then leak it to the entire world.
BJP is playing both sides. They say, look, we have nothing to do with it. But hey, Mahua Moitra is guilty, and Hiranandani suddenly is the apostle of truth because he's put out a letter after doing a U-turn for 2 days when their member of parliament is having a fight with Mahua Moitra. I mean, imagine BJP heads I win, tails you lose. Exactly like BJP supporters, they will cheer everything that is on the opposite side. Whichever side wins, the BJP wins. So the BJP is a curious case of whatever happens, Mahua Moitra is wrong, but her ex-boyfriend is correct.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is not meant to be a media trial, but there are two sides to the story, and there are many developments in the story because of which we decided to take this on. Fact is that the Ethics Committee of Parliament is now cognizant of the matter, is now looking into the matter. So whether Mahua Moitra is guilty or not is something that either the courts will pronounce or the Ethics Committee of the Parliament will pronounce. We'll leave it there for the moment. Dr. Avra Sen, thank you very much. Jaideep Mazumdar, good to have you on the show. Tehseen, always good to have you on the show. And Manishankar Chatterjee, thank you very much as well.